Hey, John Harris here with the Rock Metal Podcast. Join me as we get to go behind the scenes into what goes into producing records and making music as we interview some of our favorite and soon-to-be favorite bands. Today we're chatting with Matias and Marcus of the band Lamori. For fans of the 69 Eyes, Lacrimas, Profundere, Entwine, and Charon, we'll be chatting about Lamori's new album, Neon Blood Fire. Produced, mixed, and mastered by Jonathan Mazzeo at The Grid. We'll get to hear the story about how all of that came to be and so much more. So please stay tuned to the very end. But first, let's check in with our beautiful sponsors. Asher Media Relations, doing public relations for everything loud. For your band needs to be seen and heard in print, online, and radio. Head over to AsherMediaRelations.com. That's AsherMediaRelations.com. Mention the Rock Metal Podcast and get your band noticed. Syndicol Music is a full-service agency for musicians offering record label services, marketing, branding, production, and management. Head over to syndicolmusic.com. That's syndicolmusic.com. SYNDICOL music.com. Mention the Rock Metal Podcast and take your music career to the next level. All right, well, Marcus, Matias, thank you so much for coming on. Go ahead and say hi to all of our beautiful listeners.
Hello.
It's like we practiced. It was at the same time. It was so good.
Yeah. Excellent.
Beautiful. All right, so we have this new record that's going to be coming out, Wormholedeath Records, Neon Blood Fire. We've got 3 singles that are released for it, all ready, complete with visualizer videos, Requiem, Dark Messiah, The Eye of the Storm. Let's talk about this record, Neon Blood Fire. What was the greatest moment for you producing this record? And maybe, you know, share from each of you.
Yeah, I think the new direction, the new sound is one of the best things for me, a bit more heavier sound. So that's one thing I really appreciate with the production and the whole process with the songs.
Yeah, the new sound, and it has more of an industrial sound to it, heavier also with the vocals, and we got to try some new stuff. So that was cool. And also the recording, we did it in a new studio that our friend Johnny has. So that was really nice experience to be there. In the summer and having a good time eating pasta and drinking wine and doing music all day. So that was really fun.
Wow. And you still got work done. Drinking wine, eating pasta.
Yeah.
That's how it came out so industrial sounding. You didn't even go in there pretending. It's just came out that way. You're just too drunk.
It's the pasta that does.
Yeah, and bloated from all those carbs. You're just like, Okay, very cool. So we've got a couple of things here, and I'm pretty sure that's the Johnny we both know, recording engineer, I believe, still based out of Italy. Am I wrong? Or am I right?
That's right.
That's correct.
Yeah. It's been a hot minute since I have touched base with him, but his sister production facility is with Donald Christensen in Montreal.
Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. And I know that he has the production chops. So I guess my follow-up question is, we have a new direction, we have a new sound, a bit heavier sound, a more industrial sound, even getting heavier, not just with the guitars, but getting heavier with the vocals as well. What was the decision to do that, and how did you do that? For example, how do you make a guitar sound heavier? Is it actually just a chainsaw? It's not actually a guitar, it's a chainsaw. How do you make the vocals sound heavier?
How did you do it, Marcus?
Yeah, we had to push our dear little singer a bit harder, so he screamed a bit more.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Now it was a decision within the band that we always liked the more heavier sound, the harsher vocals, and we always been like middle ground, not heavy and not light, but somewhere in the middle, and we felt like stuck in the middle there, so we wanted to go to the more heavier direction with this.
How did that start? Did it start in the demo stages? Was it more of a production choice?
It started already in the demos. Yeah, I remember I did some vocal stuff, and I sent it to the guys and asked them, could we do something like this in the songs? And the reaction was pretty good. I did a couple of more with a bit more like the growling stuff, and they liked it. So we continued to work on that, and it's not on all songs, but a couple of songs. So
it's a good mix with the clean vocal singing and all the harmonies, but then the harsher vocals too. So
Yeah, I'm giving it a re-listen right now in this very moment, and I'm remembering now what I was reminded of. It. What's interesting, and I hope you guys take this as a compliment, but it actually comes across almost more gothic.
Yeah.
I'm getting like 69 Eyes vibes. I'm getting like that kind of vein of stuff. I don't know if you were going for that or if that's a compliment, but that's kind of what I'm hearing right now. Like if Typo Negative and maybe Marilyn, you know.
Yeah.
One of my biggest inspirations was this German band, Lacrimas Profundere.
Mm-hmm. I tried getting them on. Bastards would not say hello. Was begeten dir, ja. Back. I was a very sad little boy, yeah.
Ah, genau.
Genau so, yeah. Danke. Okay, very cool. So new direction, new sound, bit heavier the production. Always been somewhere in the middle, but really wanted to take that plunge. We started getting there by doing the vocals, actually, and saying, hey, could we do something with this? Now, that leads you to my next question. What was the biggest challenge on the record? Was it working through the carbohydrate overload? Was it...
I think it went pretty smooth overall. We know Johnny, and we know the label, and we know each other, what we can do.
It's the third album we do together now, so yeah. We felt pretty comfortable with each other.
Yeah, no major hiccups or something.
Wow.
We had a clear idea.
The biggest obstacle maybe was to learn the songs, I guess.
Okay, take us through that.
Because we did the demos and like this is how we would like to sound, and we send them to our label and the producers, and they check them out, and they have some small suggestions, or they add some things to make them a bit more spicy, and they send them back, and then we have to learn it. Mm-hmm. It can sound really good, but it maybe sometimes it's not the way we play or we are used to play. So we have to challenge ourselves to get to that new sound. So I think that's maybe the biggest challenge.
You know, these demos are pretty good, guys, but I need a single. So
something like that, yeah. Because we write in one type of way, and you get, after you've been writing songs for very long, you usually get a bit narrow-sighted. Can you say that? And a producer steps in and can maybe broader that a bit and come with suggestions. Yeah. So, but it's a new way of playing, a new way of singing. So yeah, you have to challenge yourself to explore new things.
Yeah, a new way of playing, a new way of singing. How is that translated live? Has it become an interesting thing live?
I think it has been interesting, but it's worked very well also live. We have managed to get the sound the way we like it to be live, and it's not 100% as the CD or what you say, but almost the live versions.
A live version, of the song.
Yeah. Now, sometimes a new sound bothers the fan base. Their feathers get all ruffled and they start clucking. Usually not this direction, though. Usually, like fans of rock and metal, as it starts to get heavier, it's usually a good thing. But how has the fan reaction been to the new sound?
Great. I haven't heard a bad thing yet, actually. So
no, I also only compliments regarding the heavier sound. So seems to go well with the audience.
I figured when you go the other way,
that's no good.
It's no good. It's no good. No. It's like, there's clean singing and a piano on the record. What?
Can't do that.
No. But the piano's in a minor dissonant key. It's sad. But we're singing about death. Nope.
No.
Speaking of singing of death, so we've got this new sound. We have this heavier sound, industrial sound, harsher vocals, but the sound without the content doesn't usually make much sense. Let's talk about the content. What went into the themes on this record? And maybe this is more of a question for Matias. What was that inspiration to get harsher on the vocals? Was it independent of the themes? Or were you thinking of lyrical themes and thinking, I got to do something different here?
A bit of both, actually. But some songs were were in need of something heavier, I thought. So the theme of them needed to be, like a punch in the gut. So I needed to do something with the vocals to get that through, I thought. So definitely that. And, but also just to make it a bit more spicy, to add a bit of something extra to them, a bit of growl scream at some part just to make it stand out, and or if just a part of the lyrics that I wanted to make a bit special.
Right, some arrabbiata.
Yeah.
Put some arrabbiata
Exactly.
in there. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Fan-freaking-tastic. What was the pasta of choice when you guys were over in Italy?
I love penne.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and
penne.
And you were probably
our
using
drummer made a kick-ass bolognese.
Oh, I didn't get to taste that because he left before I got there.
What?
Yeah, he was a good chef.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. I'm a chef as well, so we could go on for days about.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
bolognese.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Carry on. You were saying.
No, I just said that the Italians are very picky with their recipes, so I have to be careful.
Yeah.
But the bolognese was approved by Johnny, so
it was okay. Then it's cool. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. It shouldn't have any spices in it, which is a key thing about bolognese without getting too particular. But yeah, no oregano, no basil, no rosemary, no thyme. It's just maybe some salt and pepper, but you got to taste the milk, the wine, and the ground meat, whatever it is. Usually beef and veal, or veal and pork, something like that.
Yeah.
I just told them we're from Finland. We just throw everything in there in the pot and eat it. They were like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. Well, it's like for example, here in North America, it's like you go out for pasta, and it's like, okay, I'll take that kind of pasta, like spaghetti, and that kind of sauce, like I don't know, a cream sauce. In Italy, it's like no, it's spaghetti bolognese, like it's like, or it's that's what it is. Like you can't. It's spaghetti carbonara. It's not penne carbonara. Like, why would you do that? That would never happen.
No.
In the village where that came from, that never would have happened.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, but I want to do that now. Okay, but then it wouldn't be. Okay, I got it.
No.
Cool. What kind of themes did go into the record? Like, take us through Neon, Blood, Fire. Is this a sentence? Is this three things? What is this record about?
It's 3 words, and it's really what all songs are about. Actually, that's where the title came from. It is Neon, Blood, Fire. It's a bit of a dystopian science fiction horror themes, something like that in there somewhere. But also some personal stuff as well. So it's a mixed bag of things from my head.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, because there was a new sound involved, maybe Johnny had more to do with this, but was there any gear that was used on the record that maybe surprised you?
What do you say, Marcus?
Yeah, we had some different cool effects for the guitars to spice things up, get some new sounds and make it more brutal. So that was really nice, as I'm a nerd for guitar pedals and stuff myself. So
you use more analog stuff this time, right?
Yeah, more analog stuff, and try mixing different amps together to get a correct Lamori sound. So which is really nice.
Yeah. See, we're careful about our pasta recipes. We're also very careful about our amp and pedal recipes.
Yeah. I had to keep it a secret for
them. Because that was
selected few.
That's right. That was gonna be my next question, is like, how much Soldano 100, how much rectifier, like where were we at on, the guitar tone? But you can't tell me, other than more analog stuff. So that's cool, because in today's day and age, you could have done this whole record. We say on a laptop. Are you kidding? You could have done the whole record on the iPhone that you're currently doing this Zoom call on, because of the plugins, the drum machines, everything's available now in a compact form. But the decision was made to do analog gear. Why? Take us through that.
I guess it's a different sound. I mean, the plugins are great. We used some of them, of course, and they are sounding better and better every day. But there's something about a real tube amp that's pushed by a tube screamer, and you feel the air moving. You can't beat that.
No, and I love.
I guess it's also a bit something for ourselves to use the analog stuff. When we listen to the music, we know it's analog, so for us it makes a bit of a difference too. So it's something for us too to use the analog stuff.
Yeah, it makes sense. I remember back in the day, the tube versus solid state debate. Now everybody's all about the plugins, and it's like, well, the plugins aren't tube, so I guess solid state just won.
Yeah.
I know the computer screen looks like tubes. There's no tubes in there, friend.
No.
More to come, but let's go ahead and check in with our beautiful sponsors. Two Madsen is responsible for producing, mixing, and mastering some of the best metal for over the last 20 years. From Meshuggah to The Haunted to Poison Black, Kemper Profiler packs for guitar players, and Easy Drummer expansion packs for programming drums. Two Madsen can take your production to a level previously unheard. Head over to twomadsen.com. That's twomadsen.com. TUEMADSEN. Click contact, fill out the info for your next project, and let Two know that the Rock Metal Podcast sent you. Wormholedeath is a modern record label, publishing, and film production company born in 2008. Getting signed to this label means global distribution, publishing, and marketing with Wormholedeath's roster of global partnerships. Head over to wormholedeath.com, that's wormholedeath.com, submit your band, and let them know the Rock Metal Podcast sent you. How would you guys define success at this stage of your career? I've got some notes that it's, at least with Wormholedeath, looks like quite a few album releases, potentially 10 years. Maybe even longer. Yeah. I would imagine longer. Trying new things. How would you guys define success at this stage of your career? And it could even be on a personal level.
One thing would be, we were recently on a tour in Europe for 9 days, and the reception we got from the people we met, that's like a big proof of success, for me at least, because everybody was so happy and so welcoming and loved the music and the show and bought merch. So I think it was a fantastic experience for us as a band to go to a different country and meet people who can't hardly speak English, and they were just so happy to see us.
Yeah.
Anything else? I mean, people bought merch. That's the only important thing, right? Now you can go home.
Yeah.
Thanks for buying a T-shirt. I can go home now.
Yeah. We have enough money for gas now.
Yeah.
Glad you love the music, but could you buy a T-shirt, please?
Yeah.
What are the only two things you need? People to buy merch and get white girls to dance, and then they'll buy some more merch.
Yeah, correct.
Perfect. Recently on a tour in Europe, reception from people that we met don't even speak the same language, but I think that's the cool thing about music. And I think maybe, Matias, that's where you were trying to think about something, but that's the cool thing about music. And Marcus, in your side, these 6 strings just took me someplace where we can bond together on a level that doesn't require spoken language. And Matias, just like one day you were singing into, I don't know, something that wasn't a microphone, pretending, and now you're singing, probably still pretending, but now into a microphone.
Yeah. Still pretending, but getting there.
Yeah, but getting there. Cool. Okay, let's head back to working with Johnny, because I want to get some follow-up questions on working with Johnny. What do you like most about working with Johnny?
You want to start, Marcus?
I guess one thing would be his level of expertise, so to say, he plays instruments himself, and he's done it for many, many years. He knows how to get the sound and how to maybe push us a bit. So he's a very good producer to have by your side in the studio, and easy to work with, easy going. It's not, I'm the boss, I know everything. He's more like chill dude and easy going, so to say.
Yeah, easy going would something I would say too. Very relaxed, and you feel relaxed around him. It's no rush or hurry with anything. You just take your time and do your thing. So
he's getting paid by the day, so I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
that's why
it's always late.
No, he's Italian. He was on time. He's on
Italian time.
I hear they're worse in Spain.
Oh.
They might not even show up at all.
No.
Oh, I thought it was tomorrow. But tomorrow. Cool.
Yeah.
Easygoing, knows how to play the instruments. That's an important thing, right? So he's not just coming at it from, I don't know, from a perspective where he went to school, so he knows audio engineering, but he doesn't really know what a guitar is, you know, or what a drum is, or whatever.
Yeah. No, he knows his way around everything. So I think that's important. You can understand a bit more our side of it too. So.
You mentioned that initially the label and Johnny had made some changes to the songs. What kind of changes were those? Did they adjust tempos? Did they adjust keys? Did they shorten, lengthen? What kind of things went into the additional process, I guess, other than just, you know, putting a mic up to the Lamori Secret Sauce amp collection?
I think actually this time there were smaller changes. There was like some maybe tempo change, maybe add something. Mostly they took away stuff because they wanted to have it more clean. They said so. Okay, so cut that part, take that away, and yeah.
How do I make my song better? Where's the mute button?
Yeah, like that. Yeah,
yeah.
It's usually when you just want to have everything in there, but sometimes you have to keep it more simple, and that's I think the thing with this album. Just keep it simple, straight to the point. No bullshit. Just make it interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's the key of the album.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
My son and I are part of a mixing group where we get tracks, and we mix them. We meet the producer.
Okay.
And maybe you've heard of it, Nail the Mix, the URM Academy. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it.
Occasionally we get quite the zinger that comes down. And the latest zinger to come down was the new Nickelback album. We've got all the Nickelback tracks now. And I think what surprised me the most was how sparse it actually is. Like, they're really, like, what's there is there, and what isn't there is definitely not there. Like, they've definitely cleaned out. They've done that process to clean out what needs to be there and what doesn't need to be there. Like, it's mostly just double track guitars all the way through. There's a point where they have like 6 tracks of guitar, but at certain points, and there's reasons for it, and they all have different tones. And so it's like, you know, there's reasons for things, but yeah, to just slam all for some reason I was thinking it would just be like the whole thing, the kitchen sink. There'd be like 1,000 tracks in there, but no.
You have to have the dynamics with. You can't have, like you said, all the guitars all the time. It doesn't sound good. You have to calm down sometimes and go harder another time. It's all about dynamics and make it feel alive.
I just imagined you on a date saying that. It's all about dynamics, baby. You got to add a little spice, keep it spicy, but you got to come down, then you got to bring it up. You got to know when to do it.
Yeah. It fits there also.
What's the number one thing you boys would like people listening to the podcast to do? This can be the place where you do the drop that you're supposed to drop. It can be something spiritual. It could be something that you're just feeling in the moment. It could be all of the above.
Yeah, what do you say, Matias?
Well, it's so typical to say, go out and listen to our music.
That's what you're supposed to say, though.
Yeah.
You know?
That is. It feels so.
That's where you go. Neon Bloodfire out now via Wormholedeath Records, available everywhere you stream music, including on CD. Come out and check us out on tour. Go to whatever your website is and order tickets so that I can, finish my basement.
We're from Finland. We don't like to brag so much, so we just say, if you feel like it, you can go and listen to one of our songs, maybe.
Call me maybe. Okay.
Follow us on Spotify and step by our Facebook and write a comment. Listen to the music, and then we're happy.
If you want. Yeah, I love that. Follow us on Spotify. So you know, everyone listening in right now, there's some incredible ways to connect with bands on Spotify that I think are being underutilized by the platform, by people in general. I mean, even as a podcast, I got comments on Spotify just like it would be, you know, on a social media site on Spotify. It's cool. And I want more of that, because that's where we're communicating with people. That's where people are listening. And then go ahead and head over to the rockmetalpodcast.ca. You'll get the show notes for today, all the extra candy, such as the visualizer videos for the singles that have been released. Boys, thank you so much for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
And that's it for this episode of the Rock Metal Podcast. And that concludes this season, so thank you so much for joining us. I'd love to hear from you. If you've got something to say, feel free to shoot me an email at therockmetalpodcast@gmail.com. And in the meantime, hit subscribe in your podcast player, share it with your friends, and I'll see you on the flip side.